Hello, everyone. I'm Joanna De Ninis, and this is Truth Talk for May 15th, 2026. The topic for today is traumas. So, every one of us at one point or another have experienced some form of trauma, likely in childhood, that probably carried out throughout our lifetime. And the difference between one person and another is how we handle this trauma. Some of us experience the pain and somehow learn to live with it, but we don't lose sight of who we are. We don't let it overtake us, I guess. And some of us bury that trauma and perhaps go numb in a sense where we don't really process it, and we find ourselves I don't know, living at the surface level, I should say, not being very deep. We just kind of bury it and we just kind of stay superficial. And with that, you know, we're seeing those two different approaches. We're seeing life through a different lens. We're not seeing it the same as as the other scenario. So, for example, I believe that um, people more that are not as deep are not going to be as empathetic or sensitive. They're probably in survival mode and they're thinking solely for themselves. They're likely the type of people that are going to take from other people, not necessarily giving back. And then you have people that have had traumas that um, they're sensitive, they feel it, and they are empathetic, and they wouldn't want to others to experience that. So they're more sensitive, and but even though they're having a hard time with the traumas, they wouldn't impose that on anyone else. They wouldn't place those traumas or those hurts on another. Okay, so more of the givers. Sometimes they overgive almost to compensate for what they went through. And those, like I said, the overgivers, right? Now, I have a hard time believing that there are people out there that haven't experienced any traumas. I would assume that perhaps they've been pretty lucky, but I'm sure at some point or another they experienced something, but it's not affected them and they're carrying on and they're living a good life. And that's great. I think that's wonderful. But not the majority of us. The majority of us have had some things that we've had to contend with. And the goal when experiencing traumas, it's not to necessarily point the finger or blame, because every single one of us are here on a learning journey. And, we're not going to get it right all the time because no one's perfect. And so we might say or do things that's not the best way to do it. And we may not have bad intentions. It just may not have been the best. And anyone around us might have picked up on those, unfortunately, not so great habits, right? But the key is not to continuously point the finger and blame those people. You have to learn to accept it for what it is, knowing that the people, whatever the parents that raised you, they were not perfect, right? They were dealing with their own karmic lessons. They were on their own life's journey trying to figure it out. And 9 out of 10, it wasn't about you, but because by association, you had to feel the effects of whatever it was that was going on in your environment. So the thing to do is not to point the finger and blame. This is what Gabor Mate said, and I'm paraphrasing, not exactly as I'm saying it, but he pretty much said it's not about blaming, your parents or whomever. It's just about recognizing it and processing it, not just trying to understand it and deal with it to to get over it, to transmute it. It's not about, like I said, just playing the blame game and being a victim. And when, like I said, when you first recognize it, that's a huge step. because at least you know what you're dealing with, and you begin to know how you can best approach it or work it out, or just deal with it. And then once you really, and really the key with traumas, I'm going to be honest, I don't care what, if you're an overgiver or overtaker, it doesn't matter. But the answer to someone who has had experience, who has experienced traumas, is to pour into yourself, to exercise self-love, self-care, self-respect. That's what is required from experiencing traumas, because somehow, some way, those traumas have made you feel like you are not worthy. And that's not the case, because we're all God's children and we're all worthy and we're all here for a purpose or a reason. And we are entitled to take care of ourselves. We have the power within us to take care of ourselves. So the key again is to love yourself first, pour into yourself, right? With self love, self care, self respect. That's what is required. And when you do that, what slowly starts to happen is you evolve into this strong, confident, assertive, well put together person, being, whatever you want to call it, who isn't going to tolerate the negative behavior, the projections, the feelings of, the feeling of, being not worthy. We're not going to tolerate that. When you're a healed person, you are operating in a higher energy, a higher vibration, and you're going to start attracting people that are like you, that are like-minded, that are at the same vibration or frequency. So you start to lose people, friends, family that are not in the same vibration, because you're no longer tolerating that behavior. And yes, it may feel sad and lonely at times, right? Because you're losing people that have been in your life for a long time. And like I said, your circle of friends and family is getting smaller, and that might be sad and lonely. However, when you evolve and elevate into a higher frequency, you're going to attract a different set of people that are more that are higher vibrational. And those people are going to be your soul tribe. They are your people, people that you can relate to or relate with, and you're going to be on the same page. And you're going to see life is going to look a lot better. You're going to have more joy, more happiness, more fulfillment, more abundance, and not just abundance money wise. You're going to have abundance in happiness and fulfillment, and feeling that you have everything you need. You're not going to come from those lower vibrational energies, the jealousy, the envy, the gluttony, the overinflated ego. You're going to leave all those lower vibrational energies, you're going to put that to the side, and you're going to concentrate on the life that you want to live, the infinite possibilities you have of overcoming obstacles and creating the life that you want, the dreams that you want to realize. um, the world is going to look so much better. You're going to be so grateful and so appreciative of everything around you. You're going to stop and smell the roses. You're going to, really enjoy life for what it is and see the beauty in everything. So, and like I said, we all have this power, this ability within us to, like I said, love ourselves and pour into ourselves to evolve and be a better person. And when we love ourselves, it's only then can we love and truly take care of others. But it starts first with taking care of ourselves. So I'm telling you, this is an extremely important message. It doesn't matter what kind of traumas you've experienced in life. They happened for you, not to you. They were happened to you so that you or happened for you so they can make you a stronger person, so that you could evolve and be a better person, and then attract people that are like you to have a more fulfilled, happy life. Okay. With infinite possibilities. Okay. So again, we all have this power within. You just have to harness it. Okay. And we can't do this work for someone else. Everybody's got to do their own work. It's up to us. Okay. And yes, it might be hard, but it's not impossible. It can be done. You just have to have the perseverance, and you can't give up, and you have to realize that good things will come. Karma will pay off in divine timing, not in our timing, in divine timing. After we've resolved our traumas and we've broken these cycles, these never ending repeating cycles, that's when we realize, you know, our when we start to bring in our gifts and we start receiving blessings, when we actually have done the hard work, we've proved we proved it, we've done the work, and then we get to realize our good karma. Okay. So that's pretty much it. If what I'm saying resonates with you, please go to the Reach website, www.reache.group. On the website, you can join the Reach Facebook group, which is a support platform, people helping people. You can also join the YouTube channel where I have other videos like this. There's a place on the homepage to buy Reach merchandise. This is to to spread the word about the Reach support platform and nonprofit organization. Proceeds or portion of the proceeds for merchandise goes to the Reach Integrative Healthcare Cause. The Integrative Healthcare Cause is one of the causes designed to raise funds and pay for alternative treatment to help people overcome chronic health challenges. Will help everyone, but it's for the under-resourced, those that earn less than 100,000 on their taxes, whether filing single or joint. Okay, so and again, it's one of the first of many causes that we will eventually fund. Um, when you're on the website, there will be pop-up forms. There will be contact forms that pop up. This is so that I can collect your information. Promise I will not sell your information. This is so I can stay connected with you, send out monthly newsletters in MailChimp. I promise I will not bombard you with emails. I will not bombard you with requests for donations. Pretty much if you can donate and you have the resources, it's greatly appreciated. You can do that on the website on the donate now button or on the causes page. And if you can't donate, it's okay. It's not a problem. It's just if you really want to and you can, be greatly appreciated. So that's pretty much it. I hope you all have a good night. And I didn't record anything yesterday. I'm sorry. The intent was to do that every day, but I'm doing the best I can. I don't know what to say. I'm human. I get tired, and you know, I I know people religiously post whether they're sick or whatever happens, they still manage to post. I do the best I can. That's all I can say. I'm not perfect. So, anyways, have a good night. Until next time, goodbye.